What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Inside the Dam broadcast here on KMSU Channel 19. My name is Mia Thompson. I'm here with my co-host, Ariana Polonio. Are you excited about today's show today?
Yes, thank you, Mia. So it's December, so the Christmas holiday feeling is almost there. We have an exciting episode today. We're gonna interview a wrestler. We'll also have a basketball player, and then we have more insight about MSU sports. We'll have regional, national. So let's get right into it.
Yes, without question. We're gonna kick it off first to Grant with national sports. Grant, what's going on today?
Hey, Mia, I'm doing absolutely fine. I hope you guys had a great Thanksgiving.
Thank you. You as well.
All right, everybody. Well, I hope all the viewers as well had a great Thanksgiving, but unfortunately, the same really can't be said for the Chicago Bears and the Las Vegas Raiders. Today, we're going to go over two key moments in the Thanksgiving NFL weekend that we'd left a sour note in an otherwise great matchup between the two teams. We're first going to start off with the Bears-Lions matchup. So the game was very close the entire way through, with the Lions ahead by 3 points near the end of the game. However, when the Bears were inching closer and closer to the end zone, it seemed very possible that the Lions would have another loss on their impressive 10-1 record. However, with the 10 seconds left on the clock, the Bears spent too much time recouping, didn't spike the ball, and wasted an opportunity to kick the field goal, tie the game, and send it into overtime. This led the Lions winning this, in all honesty, a very unsatisfying game in a 20-23 score. So unsatisfying, in fact, that the very next day the Bears fired their head coach, Matt Eberflus, left Chicago fans. The next day, the 10-1 Kansas City Chiefs went up against the lowly 2-9 Las Vegas Raiders. However, despite the large win gap between the two teams, it was very close, and the matchup was entirely close the entire way through. Similar to the Detroit matchup, it came up to two final moments where KC was up only 2 points in a 17-19 score, with Las Vegas trailblazing down the field looking to win. With the 15 seconds left in the game, even on the Kansas City 37-yard line, there was a miscommunication with the quarterback in the center, which led to a mistimed snap, a fumble. The QB was unprepared, leaving the ball going every which way. Kansas City retrieved the ball, and the Las Vegas Raiders were left empty-handed that Thanksgiving night. To say both of these games had disappointing endings would be a complete understatement, and hopefully both Bears and Raiders can recoup and recover after these, frankly, embarrassing losses. Ariana, I don't know if I'm rubbing salt in the wound here, but I mean, I think it goes without question that these were two very just unsatisfying losses for both of these teams.
Yeah, but they might recover like later on, so they try their best. So It's okay. Thank you, Grant. He's only starting his journey at Minot State, but so far he has already led the men's wrestling team to their first collegiate win. I'm here with freshman John Armstrong. John, how are you doing today?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm good. So let's start off before you came to Minot. So you won the title of All-Area Wrestler of the Year at the state championship in Montana. Can you tell us a little bit of how you got there?
Yeah, so, I mean, kind of similar to Minot. It started when I was younger, maybe a lot of wins, a lot of losses as well. And I just think, working every day and just building up and just constantly doing things like lifting and working out and doing things to push past those limits is kind of how I kept improving and kept getting to where I wanted to go, and then I finally achieved All-Area Wrestler of the Year for my hometown. So,
Were you surprised when you got that title, or you were like, oh my God, I never thought I would get here?
I was just grateful, I think. I think in the area, like, I had the best accolades, so it was, I guess, deserving. I think a lot of other people could have deserved it, but I was grateful that I received that award.
All right. Is there any teammate that you look up to so far, or a wrestling star that you really like, and can you tell us why?
Yeah, I'd probably say Brennan Barnes. He's the same weight class as me, so and he's also, like, we have buddy groups, like older buddy and younger buddy, and he's my older buddy, so I just think he's a good person and does the right things in and out of the wrestling room and the weight room and in the classroom, and he's going to get his he's in graduate school, so I think he's, you know, doing some great things, and I just look up to how he competes and his work ethic.
That's really nice. What do you think is the most challenging aspect of wrestling?
I think just the mental part of it, like going up against guys that have been here for 5 years, or, you know, a senior in college. I think it's hard to like go into a match and think like, oh, I can win this. Like, you get down on yourself and get in your head before matches, at least I do. And I think that's a hard part to get past, and just realize that I can compete with anyone here, and I'm here for a reason.
All right. And do you enjoy practicing any other sports?
I like to do powerlifting. I want to do some competitions over the summer, and maybe even like run marathons or something. I don't do any like, I mean, I like football, I like watching football, but I don't really practice or play it anymore. So.
Yeah, I think that's really great that you also have like other aspects that you like doing. But thank you so much for your time, John. So that was John Armstrong on men's wrestling team. Make sure you watch their next match on December 7th against the Dragons of Minnesota State Moorhead. Now we're going to go with Clayton. He's going to tell us about the story of team building in the NFL from the perspective of a Dallas Cowboy fan. Clayton.
Thank you for the toss, Ariana. I'm Clayton Hawkins. I'm a depressed Cowboys fan, like so many of this great organization. This year we have come up nothing but short this entire year. It's from the failure of this one great man to my side here, Jerry Jones. Okay, Jerry Jones is the owner of the Dallas Cowboys, where he also manages the team. Normally in the NFL, you'll have an owner who manages will delegate the talent building and talent acquiring to a general manager. Well, Jerry Jones is the owner and the general it's been on and the general manager for the Dallas Cowboys. I say that to say that he's ruining the team. He's pocket watching, penny pinching the entire organization. And so therefore in this last offseason, when he wanted to go all in to build a Super Bowl team, he sat by and watched all the other league acquire the talent, and he said the team was good enough to run it back, and they didn't win the Super Bowl the year before, and so by definition they weren't good enough to get it done. And so far they've only been worse just by sitting back and doing absolutely nothing. What this basically comes down to is Jerry Jones is not unique in the sense that he sucks at being a general manager. The Giants also have a terrible general manager, and Joe Shane. Shout out Howard for this. And it's really unfortunate to see us fans have to sacrifice our Sundays and our happiness to watch our teams be terrible when we know they're going to be terrible from the offseason. My suggestion is get us fans to run the team. Owners don't need to be general managers. Guys who think they know the sport aren't general managers, okay? Guys like us wearing the jerseys, we're general managers. We've put a lot of sweat, equity, and tears into watching these teams, and we know how to build these teams for better or for worse, okay? So with that is the end of my diatribe. I want to toss it back to the host. Thank you for giving me this therapy session.
Thank you, Clayton. I'm glad you're able to get that out of your system. It was great to hear. Thank you so much.
That's right, Clayton. But we want to give a big shout out to Papa John's for being our sponsor for this episode.
Now, guys, don't go anywhere. We're going to take a quick writer's break, and then we'll be back with lots of more segments and interviews. So we'll see you guys soon.
welcome to Inside the Dam. We've had a great show so far. So Mia, I want you to tell me, what are your thoughts on this episode today?
I think it's been a great show so far. It was good hearing from Grant, some national news, Clayton as well. And now we still have more to go on. So we want to kick it on over to AJ to give us some MSU sports updates. AJ?
Thank you. This past Friday, the Minot State men's basketball team opened up a weekend road trip to South Dakota versus South Dakota School of Mines. Caleb Vandergreen notched a double-double to help the Minot State men's basketball team defeat School of Mines 63-56 on the road Friday. Jalen Cook and Sam West combined for 79% of the Beavers' points. The Minot State defense forced 14 turnovers and 5 blocks. On Saturday, the Beavers rolled over Black Hill State 71-64 with Jalen Cook, who led the Beavers with 15 points, and Jackson Gunville, who came up with some big shots late to give the Beavers a boost as he added 13 points and 2 steals. Caleb Vandergreen had an impressive weekend with back-to-back 20-point double-doubles. The Beavers remain unbeaten at 9-0 early in the season. The Beavers are back home this weekend, Friday and Saturday, face off St. Cloud State and Bemidji State. Also, the Minot State women's wrestling team were on the road this past weekend at Fort Hays Bob Smith Women's Open in Fort Hays, Kansas. Already setting the standard with the school record for wins in a season and career, Nina Sandoval added her first collegiate title to her resume on Sunday, going undefeated for her 180-pound weight class to claim the championship. Teammates Haley Lamada made it to the championship match at 145 pounds and settled for the second place, and Madeline Shook battled Madeline Shook battled for 207 pounds to finish a third in the tournament. The girls will be back in action to the dual Chatham State College in Nebraska this Friday and Saturday. Ladies, I'm not a big basketball fan, but since the boys are 9-0, how do you think they're going to go the rest of the season?
I think they'll keep up a really good lead in scoring and everything. I think they'll have a really good season ahead of them. I'm really excited to watch. So
Yes.
Thank you, AJ. Speaking of basketball, I'm here with Laura Dobbins. She's already leading the Beavers women's basketball team in scoring as an incoming freshman. She is from New South Wales, Australia. Laura Dobbins. Laura, so glad to have you on the show today.
Thank you for having me.
So I know you're leading the Beavers in scoring an average of 11.3 points a game and a career high of 21 points and 7 rebounds against Minnesota Crookston last week, which is amazing. Congrats.
Thank you.
So I'm just going to start off with some questions. So what are your thoughts on how things have been looking so far with the team as you have begun your season?
Well, we had a long preseason, but so far things have been looking a little rough, but we're hoping to see some improvement over our next coming games. We only just started our conference, so we are 0-1, but it was a really good game from us and we saw a lot of improvement, so hopefully we can keep improving.
Yeah, of course. There's so much, you have a long season ahead of you, and I'm sure preseason, starting off in October?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's December now, so I'm sure it's going to go on forever. I'm really excited for you and your upcoming season.
You.
So also, how has the team dynamic been on and off the court?
It's been really good. We obviously have only known each other for about 3 months, so in saying that, it's been awesome. We have really good coaches, amazing assistant coaches, graduate assistants who set up so much for us to just become close as a team, both on and off the court, and obviously we spend so much time together practicing and just hanging out, so it's been really, really good.
That's awesome. And being so far from home from Australia, I just want to know, what made you want to come play basketball in the States?
Well, my older sister actually is a swimmer and she goes to New Mexico State. So I started looking into college after she came, and she was telling me how much she loved it. And a lot of the older girls from my hometown were coming to college in America, so I decided to look into it, and that's what made me want to come here.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
What year is your sister?
She's a sophomore.
Okay, so just right above you. That's
Yeah.
awesome. And being from Australia, what is the recruitment process like getting into the States?
So normally you have to sign with a recruiting agency because obviously it's so far away, so we don't really have the same opportunities as American students do. But you sign with an agency, and then they're able to send out your highlight videos and everything to all the coaches, and then they approach you and we have meetings and everything. But it is annoying that we aren't able to come for official visits and stuff like that. But it was still really good for me coming here. Yeah.
Why Minot, out of all the places? I'm sure you
Well-
were talked to by a lot of different schools.
Yeah, well, actually, the women's basketball coach, Ryan Clark, he was a big influence in me coming here. He's also an Aussie, And also previously, like in the program, there's been a lot of like Australian basketball players, and it just seemed really inviting for me.
Awesome. I'm so, a little piece of home, being away
Yeah.
from home, that's awesome. But you
Definitely.
find so much comfort in that.
Yeah.
And how has the being a collegiate athlete in the States, how has that impacted you so far?
I think it's definitely been something super different for me. I feel like I've become a lot more independent, and I've like learned how to manage my time. Obviously, going to school and playing basketball has been like very busy, but it's definitely impacted me in a positive way.
That's awesome. And like, what has being so far from home again, and just like playing basketball in Australia versus the States, what has been the biggest difference in the game?
I would say the physicality is a lot different, and obviously like when you go to college you play with girls who are a lot older than you, and coming in as a freshman I'm only 18, so it was definitely the physicality for me. I definitely noticed.
Well, that's awesome. Thank you so much. This is Laura Dobbins. So thank you for being on the show with us today. Make sure you guys watch the women's basketball team take on St. Cloud this Friday at 5:30 p.m. and then Bemidji State on Saturday at 3:30 p.m. Now, guys, don't go anywhere. We are going to take a quick writer's break, and then we will be back with you in more segments, so don't go anywhere. Welcome back, guys. It's been a great show so far, but we are not done.
That's right. We're going to hear some regional sports from Dalton. He's going to take us in on what's going on so far. So with that, we'll have Dalton tell us right now.
We're going to kick it off to you, Dalton.
Yeah, thanks, Ariana. Thanks, Mia. There was no trouble there with our mics whatsoever. We're going to kick it to some Minnesota sports, though. The Vikings secured a dramatic 23-22 victory over the Arizona Cardinals this Sunday in Minnesota. The Vikings made a comeback victory. My teleprompter's not working. I don't know what to do, so I'm just going to do this off the head. The Vikings won in a close match, 23-22, against the Cardinals last Sunday. That was a very close matchup. That Sam Darnold was 21 for 31, threw for 2 touchdowns as well. That was an awesome victory for the Vikings. I know our own Neil Roberts is very happy about that, so shout out to him. Moving over to the ice, the Minnesota Wild took a 3-2 victory in overtime against the Nashville Predators. That was a close one this last Friday, and that one was led by a game-winning goal there at the end, and they improved to 16-4-4 on the season, as well as they're first in the Central Division in the NHL. So they're something to watch out for as far as Minnesota sports goes. And moving on over to the Timberwolves right now. The Timberwolves took on the Clippers last Saturday. They were on a 4-game losing streak, but they were able to pull out the win, close 93-92 there in Minnesota this past weekend. That was huge. Anthony Edwards scored 22 on the night, as well as Nickeil Alexander-Walker coming off the bench with 15 points as well. Even though James Harden had 39, he was looking nice on the night. The Timberwolves were able to pull out a win and end their losing streak. They continue their season at 9-10, and overall in the NBA Cup right now, they're 2-2 as well. Thank you for your grace. I just did that off the head, so appreciate it, guys. Have you guys ever been to a professional sports game before?
I have 2 years ago. I went to the Utah Jazz back at home. Pretty sick. I liked it there.
Nice
It was
atmosphere.
fun. Yeah, it was so cool. It was a playoff game, and
Wow.
it was a really cool environment.
Nice.
Yeah, it was fun. Good stuff.
Yep.
Well,
I wish I could say the same, but I'm more of a volleyball fan.
too.
But that's fine. We can work with
Obviously.
that.
Well, thank you, Dalton. Now, guys, we're going to kick it to Gage, who will give us a little rant and rundown about Formula One Monaco Grand Prix. Gage, take it away.
Thanks, guys. So yeah, the Monaco Grand Prix, historical. It's been around since 1929, with the first appearance on April 14th of that year. A total of 78 laps per race. Now, the Monaco Grand Prix in F1 has a lot of issues, as many of you probably don't know. The cars have gotten bigger pretty much every year, with the exception of this last year, had they actually went down about a centimeter, maybe 2 in length. So Monaco, as you can see in this picture behind me, right here is the Fairmont hairpin. This is not a good hairpin by any means, as cars are running about 30 miles an hour through this little section. Now, the hairpin itself doesn't fit for one singular car to go through. Now, if you've watched the races in the past few years, lots of crashes have happened on this turn because no one can fit. Now, it looks like there might be enough room, but if you venture out too wide, you can't turn enough. So Formula One has a problem on their hands with Monaco. Now, they did just extend their contract to race here till 2031. That nobody wants that to happen because this race sucks entirely. The race only sits at a mile and a 0.95 entirely for one lap. So, like I said earlier, 78 laps. And, hometown hero Charles Leclerc finally broke his streak of problems on this track, winning the race this year. Great for him. But another big issue with why this track sucks so bad is due to the fact that there's no overtaking. Now, the entire reason why Formula One is entertaining, fun, and creates a whole story for all sorts of sports fans around the globe is overtaking, fighting, trying to get in front of your opponent. Well, this year alone, there were 4 overtakes on the track and pretty much ruined the race, and no one was a big fan. People complain about it constantly. And on top of that, the average amount of overtakes, or people passing one another in a race, is 51. So 4 to 51, just not great. So overall, Formula One needs to get rid of the street circuits and just have real homegrown tracks such as France. France needs to come back because Monaco is terrible. Now, last thing here is 78 laps of 0 overtakes. I can't wait. I don't think anyone really wants to watch that. Pretty boring race. Not a whole lot of fun. As you can see in the track, right above me, it looks normal until you actually get there, and then people are pretty much stuck between each other, and all the overtaking happens in the pits. So for all the non-F1 fans out there, I'm sorry you had to hear this, but for all the people that actually know what Formula One racing is, founded in 1950, then you understand my pain. So back to you guys. I'm sorry you had to deal with this. Clayton's was definitely better than mine, 100%, but, Formula One.
Well, honestly, Gage, I loved the gloves. I think you brought drip to the function, so I honestly think that made it 4 times better without question. So, well, Ariana, we are starting to wrap up the show. What are your thoughts on today?
I think we've had a great show so far. I always like getting to know our athletes. We had a wrestler. We had John. I really like my interview with John. It's always good to know what they like to do outside of their main sport. And then we also had Lara from Australia. I thought that was very great. Our freshmen are doing a great job. Like, they're leading the MSU sports. And also, I'll have to say, Gage's takes on Formula One, very refreshing. Also had Clayton on his take on the NFL. So good stuff. We also had a lot of basketball to talk about, and then the regional and then the national.
Yeah, it's been a really good show. I agree with the incoming freshmen. All of them have had great impact on their season so far, all through fall and into winter sports. So it's really good stuff going on here. Well, guys, that is going to be it for our show today. We have had a great time here on Inside the Dam, and we just want to shout out to Papa John's. And guys, don't forget, with your MSU ID, you get 40% off pizzas. So you might want to get that going.
Yeah, and with that being said, that's going to wrap up the show. Thank you so much for tuning in. We might have an extra episode coming your way, so make sure you get posted for that. And we'll see you next time on Inside the Dam. Thank you.